Teachers, we're going to practice filling out point sheets for BMC/base students. If they're base access, we fill out 2 days which are consistent, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we are going to practice filling it out. We pick any 2 numbers you want to pick from here, and then you will highlight it, number 1, going all the way down. So that will be our Tuesday. So I'm going to write over here Tuesday, and I'm going to put the date, whatever that is. So I'm going to just write March, let's say 4th or 6th. And then the second day I'm going to pick is my Thursday, which could be, you can pick any number you like, and you're going to go down the point sheet. So that is going to be my Thursday. We always have to be consistent with our days, Tuesday and Thursday. Those are the 2 days we collect data. Where it says recorded by, you will always put your name. We need the teacher's name in here, so it could be Patel. And then also we need the period, what class period does that child is in your class. So if it's science, a second period, you're going to put second. If it's third, you're going to put third. And then we need the date, what week are we targeting. Okay. The second part that we talk about where it says absent, so for in case if the student is absent on a Tuesday, you are just going to write absent, and if the student is present, you do not do anything here. The next part says inclusion. That means was the child in your class for how long was the student in your class? Was it 35 minutes, 45 minutes, or 60 minutes? We just need to know if the child was in your room for how long. And so let's say this, it's a 45 minutes class period. I am going to write 45. The next one says strategies. Did you use positive reinforcement? And if you did, was it effective, not effective, somewhat effective, or 5 effective? So let's say you used positive reinforcement and it was effective. The child listened to you. So that's a 5 because it gives you the scale right here if you look at it. The next one we're going to target is classroom roles. It's always from a scale 0 to 3. So the first one, able to provide a task response. Was the student able to give you a task response? 0 means the child didn't do anything that you asked for. 1 means the child needed a lot of redirection. 2 means child needed a few redirection. And then 3 means the child was independent, was a perfect angel in your class. So let's say this kid was an angel, so he or she gets a 3 for that Tuesday because he was on task or she was on task. Was the child in its assigned seat? So you gave the child something to do and the child did it, staying in his or her own area. So that's a 3. Was the child respectful to you and others? Did the child use profanity? Depends. So if the child was perfect, you don't have to redirect the kid. It is a 3. But just in case if the child used profanity towards you or others, then it's a 0. So it depends. The next one says, did the child work on activities and completed the assignment? So if the child completed the whole packet or the assignment you had for that day, it's a 3. And if the child said did 66% work, then that's a 2. And if you think the child did, let's say, 35% work, then that's a 1. And if the child didn't do anything, which is 0 to 10%, that's a 0. So depending how much work the child completed for you, you fill that out in here. So let's say the student did 66% of the given assignment. That is a 2. The next one, this is the most important part. This is the IEP goal for their student, for their behavior. So make sure we're reading the goal correctly and we're filling it out. It's always a scale of 0 to 3. 0, same thing again, means student didn't do anything. 1 means needed a lot of redirections. 2 means few, and 3 means child was an angel. So that's how you fill it out. So for this one, if the student is upset or frustrated, this student will take a self-imposed timeout or walk to base or talk to an adult using appropriate behavior, or comments. So we'll not use profanity. So if the student did everything from here, then that is a 3. Sometimes the student has more than one goal, so make sure you're turning the page to see at the back if the student has more goals. So that completes our Tuesday. Our next day that we focus is our Thursday. Again, if the student is with you, then you do not have to fill out the first part. But if the student is absent, then this stays blank and you just put an A in there. So let's just say the student was here on a Thursday. You put the day, which would be 3, let's say 8. And then I'm going to fill it out. Same thing again. Was the child, let's say, 30 minutes in your class because the next 15 minutes he was called to the office or he had to walk out and go to BMC. So whatever the time the student spent in your class, the time goes over here. Did you use positive reinforcement? Let's say the student, you used it, but it wasn't effective. So that's a 1. Same thing again. Did the student follow or was the student able to give you a task response? Let's say the student was having a bad day and needed a lot of redirection. So that is a 1. Let's say the student was antsy and didn't want to sit down. So that is a 0. You kept telling the student over and over again, sit down, but the student refused to follow directions. The student used a lot of profanity or was being disrespectful to you and other students, then that is a 0 again, because you had to constantly redirect the student to do what he or she had to do. Then complete assignments. The student was not on task and barely worked on any assignments, but at least completed 1 question out of the 10. So that would be a 0 again, because if you look at the scale, it's 0 to 10 would always be a 0. Same thing, look at the goal. Was that student able to talk to you when he or she was having a meltdown? So depending on whatever the situation is, you will fill it out. And it's always a scale of 0 to 3. It's always 0 to 3. So let's say the student was having a bad day, like I said, then that is definitely a 0 because the student went into shutdown mode and didn't want to talk to you. So like I said, this is for the week of March 4th to 10th, which would be March 4th to 10th. And you just fill out 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday. So that concludes our point sheets. If you have any questions, you can talk to Ms. Patel, talk to Ms. Stowe, or you can talk to Ms. Maldonado. They will be able to assist you on this. Thank you.